Good morning, boys and girls. Well, it's Memorial Day 2025, and it is a very rainy day, stormy night last night. And sometimes when I get shut down on my activities like this, I like to come out and sit in my boat. And so, Blitzen, my puppy, and that's Blitzen right there. There's Blitzen. There's that puppy. He's a good puppy. Anyhow, we're making do with a computer here. I hope you can hear me. It's raining and we're under a metal awning. This is where I keep my boat. This is my retirement boat, which kind of figures into what I wanted to talk about on this Memorial Day. I think I've said in past videos that I've been in many war zones, but I'm not ever affiliated directly with the military. I've never been in the military. I've worked for the military, but I've never been in the military. I've lived in and worked in Mexico, Honduras, and Nicaragua during the war down there. I was a medical missionary in Korea. My last assignment was in Afghanistan, which kind of brings us to the story. Man, my boonie hat. It was raining outside, so I was looking for a hat to throw on, and I grabbed this boonie hat, and I thought about all the men who have served wearing this hat ever since the 1940s when it was kind of first introduced, and especially in Vietnam, which was my era. I was drafted but never served because Vietnam was called off. A great thing to happen during the war. Call it off. But thanks to Richard Nixon, I didn't have to serve. But ever since that time, I've been drawn to war zones and to service in those zones. And because of my medical training, I was easily accepted into those areas. But this is about Memorial Day. And a lot of people don't understand it's a 3-day holiday, yeah, but they don't understand the importance of it. A lot of the guys in my class, mine was the last class to serve in Vietnam. A lot of them that wore this hat assigned to them as a tropical, rainy season, hot hat to deflect the rain mainly. It absorbed as much as it deflected. But it's been around ever since then. And a lot of those guys that were of my generation went on to serve in Southeast Asia and Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and they paid the ultimate price there. They were fighting for our cause, and they lost their life. Boonie hat's been around for a lot of that. Seen a lot of the most ferocious fighting that could possibly happen, from the Philippines to Vietnam to Afghanistan. We wore a hat kind of like this in Afghanistan. It's desert camo, but it was moldable like this. So this has been associated with those fighting men and women. But Memorial Day is only about the men and women who died fighting for our cause, our country. I've been lucky enough to get a little tiny bit of the sensation of being in a war zone and understanding what goes through someone's mind and soul when they're faced with calamity and potential death. And it's an exhilarating, that may sound strange, it's an exhilarating feeling, but it's also an absolute suffocating feeling. You don't know whether to run backwards or forwards, to fight, to hide, to cover yourself up with dirt. Those are all things that fighting men and women have to prepare themselves for, and then be able to action on it, as they say, when the time comes. It's a horrible feeling. And yet, the endorphins and other things that are released into your bloodstream are so powerful that after a while, a lot of people crave that. That's one of the problems the folks that were in true fighting zones and facing danger daily. That's one of the problems they have coming back into normal society and standing down those emotions and those feelings. So it's kind of an interesting concept to think about on Memorial Day, because we're memorializing the folks that fought for us, fought in our stead, in place of us, because we had more important things to do. I was one of the truly, truly lucky ones. I was able to continue with my education, with my young family. I wasn't drawn away until I decided to go years later. I wasn't drawn away to a foreign land to put my life on the line. The people that do that are phenomenal. They're phenomenal people. Selfless comes to mind. My dad was in the Korean War. He was a sailor. He was a welder on an aircraft carrier, the USS Essex, very famous World War II carrier. My wife's father was in the Army in Korea with the artillery company, and having spent a lot of time in Korea, he and I got to talk quite a bit about his service there, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It's the coldest winters you have ever imagined in the mountains of Korea, fighting the Chinese coming over the borders. Just a minute. Come here, Blitz. Come here, Blitzen. Blitzen would like to jump down out of this boat right now. But on Memorial Day, we're memorializing those people who died in battle. And I think that's something as a society we can never, ever forget. To forget it would be to bastardize our history. Come here, pup. And I think history more than ever is going to become extremely important with our generations, our modern generations, because to forget it or to change it can be very dangerous as a society. So I hope you'll join me in remembering those people in your family and research it a little bit. Ask the questions. Hopefully there's still people alive in your family that know the answers about military service and what exactly your family may have played a part in that. So on this day, with lots of reverence and lots of love, let's truly remember, let's forget about the superficial stuff for a little while. Let's pray for the souls of those men and women that gave their life. Think about giving your life for a cause. They gave their life for a cause. A lot of them gave their life for their fellow servicemen they were fighting alongside. You hear stories of them falling on a grenade or pushing each other out of the way of harm so their body would take it. These are unbelievable, unhuman responses that these people train for and learn and put their life on the line for. So on this rainy Memorial Day 2025, please join with me in remembering the people that wore this silly hat. You can do anything with it. And many other hats and helmets in war zones. Please take time. You'll be richer for it if you do. Something to think about. Love you guys. If you have responses, questions, drop me a text. If you will, like and subscribe, and there'll be more like this. And this is my retirement boat. Yay! See you later. Blitzen and I have things to do.